Hey, let's get to these Browns. So I'm here with my son. He's an avid Browns fan as well. The other day he had on a busted Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, I think. He don't know I threw it in the garbage.
I never owned a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey before in my life.
Oh, that must have been my brother then. Because next time I see him with it on, we go use it to check the oil of the Cadillac. That's what we go do.
The only gold and black jersey that I own is Drew Brees. That's the only one I own.
Oh, well, I stand corrected. That's the one I saw. All right. Who you got on here? 24. What's that? Oh, Nick Chubb. Okay, that's all good. So this Browns coaching situation, I really thought the Browns would get John Harbaugh as head coach and pull in Todd Monken. A lot of people thought that was a bad idea, but apparently somebody didn't think it was a bad idea.
Yep, that was the New York Giants. Now, I don't know too much about the New York Giants, but I know there's an organization that has been struggling for a couple years. I know the Giants this past season has had some success with their quarterback, and they said, you know what, we need a new head coach, and they grabbed John Harbaugh. They said John Harbaugh, he loved that quarterback who made some noise this past season. So I wanted John Harbaugh to come to the Cleveland Browns because with the success that he had, his resume is elite. He is a Super Bowl champion. He worked with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and them, and he won a championship with Joe Flacco, and he worked with Lamar Jackson. Now, I figured that he would come to the Cleveland Browns. They said he had high interest in coming with the Cleveland Browns because he grew up in Northeastern Ohio as a Browns fan, and he has good relations with Lamar Jackson. He could bring that talent, that scheme to work with Shedeur Sanders.
I think so. But the powers that be didn't feel that way. Maybe the interview didn't go as expected. We have heard many a times that the Browns want to have control over the coach. And I just don't think that with a seasoned coach that know how to win, they're not going to have that control like they want. Who else we got? Mike Tomlin stepped down.
Yeah.
Now, check this out. This was the thing. I don't even think that Mike Tomlin would even got fired. In my opinion, Tomlin and Harbaugh, they probably some of the most decorated coaches in the NFL besides somebody like Andy Reid. And Belichick is not in the NFL anymore. But some of these coaches are highly decorated, and teams, they are stepping down. Teams are letting them go. And I'm not understanding why the Browns can't. Well, hopefully with the firing of the dude, John D, the pesto dude or whatever his name was, hopefully their philosophy started to change about these coaches. Because these coaches, they need to have control of the team, control of most or part of the draft, because they know what scheme they want to put in. They know what players they want. But like I said, Tomlin, that was like a big to-do when he stepped down. I mean, that shocked the NFL world, in my opinion.
Now, it didn't really shock me that Mike Tomlin stepped down from the Pittsburgh Steelers because I really felt like over the years to come, ever since Big Ben retired and such, they couldn't find no quarterback. To be honest with you, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have gotten their success really by pure luck. And then when the playoffs hit, reality checked in. And I think for Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they decided that, you know what, we need to change the scenery. He's been here for a long time. And Mike Tomlin, he stepped down. And I got much respect for Mike Tomlin and what he did for the Pittsburgh Steelers and such. Now, with who the Browns should get as their head coach, I believe at first I wanted...
Well, hold on, before you go with that, let me say this, before you give your prediction about the head coach. So what I really think, like teams like the New England Patriots and Pittsburgh Steelers that have been successful so long, they have a system of success. Look at how long it took the Patriots to get back on top. I got them picked to win the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. So look at how long they were down and came back up. I think Pittsburgh will be the same way because they have a system of how they want things to go. And those owners know that they need a coach that they need to pay and get out of the way. But the Browns owner, man, you ain't calling plays and you can't evaluate talent. Let the coaches, and it looked like Barry did pretty good last year. Let them do their thing. But what were you saying about who you thought who we should have as coach?
Jim Schwartz as our head coach, because the team already respects Jim Schwartz, the way how he got that defense in order. The past 3-4 years, our defense has been in the top 5 because of Jim Schwartz. And for him being the head coach, he already got the respect of the team. He already got that discipline that we need. And you bring in somebody like Mike McDaniels, who just got off of the Dolphins, who's known for his offensive schemes with the Dolphins, especially working with Tyreek Hill. He should be able to bring that with the Browns. But the Chargers took advantage of that opportunity. Now, I still believe they should get Jim Schwartz as their head coach. And if not, they should get the Buffalo Bills head coach, who they just let go, Mike McDermott.
That was a shocker. McDermott is another coach who has an extensive resume, a winning resume, built a team, developed a quarterback, and like you said, if you don't hire Schwartz as head coach, well, guess what? Get McDermott in here. I'm quite sure he's not going to replace, even though McDermott is a defensive mind, but Schwartz got the defense humming. So why you ain't gonna break it, of course. So hey, find that right OC. If what's his name? Tommy Reese, who we got now? Ty Reese or Tommy Reese?
Yeah, Tommy Reese.
If you feel like he's not good enough, get you a good OC. But hey, I think McDermott is the truth. That's what I think. I think we should be, as soon as we found out he was fired, Haslam should have had somebody on the phone call scheduling an interview. Now, that's not to say that hadn't happened, because that news happened a couple of days ago. So we just not talking about it. But what about some other coaches who were fired the first week? We got the Falcons coach who was let go, Raheem Morris, there for 2 seasons. Kevin Stefanski, of course, let go after 6 seasons. Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll, his career just been down. I don't think he can relate to these players. Who else we got? Cardinals. They fired Jonathan Gannon. I'm quite sure. I'm not too familiar with Jonathan Gannon. But they let him go after 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And the Titans fired Brian Callahan. And the Giants, of course, we talked about him. They let go Brian DeBall. But I wanted to add this: when it comes to like the young coaches, if they don't have a team already around them, I don't think they have the resolve to win when the team breaks up. Case in point, Kevin Stefanski. He started off, his seasons wasn't that great. Then here come Dorsey come in, made a stellar draft, and we take off winning. And then they get rid of Dorsey, and then you can see the team start tanking. And now I'm going to get to Josh McDaniels the same way. As soon as he lost his stars, this is just my opinion, he couldn't pick that team up to continue to win. So I look at people again, I'm going to say, and I'm going to tell you something. I really think Bill Belichick is still a viable candidate for any team. He is the only NFL coach that doesn't have a team. I know he's supposed to be playing in college and not doing well in college last time I checked, but he's not a college guy. These guys, they going to school they own these scholarships or just walked on and made the team. They trying to get college degrees. They ain't got no aspirations for the NFL, but you put Belichick on another NFL team. Let's say Cleveland Browns, for instance. Oh, and I'm quite sure him and Schwartz would make a hell of a defensive-minded duo. And Belichick could go ahead and just probably ride with what's his name? Tommy Reese. Just because Belichick got the experience, he can guide Tom Reese into being a successful OC. Well, that's my thought on who the Browns should get. They either should get Schwartz or go and pull in Belichick. That's just my opinion. And probably McDermott. Now, some people was talking about Deion Sanders. But I'm going to be honest with you. I like prime time, Deion, one of the best to do it. Probably top 3 player in NFL history. But I just don't know if he would be the coach for the Cleveland Browns.
That was another coach who I want to come and coach for the Cleveland Browns is Deion Primetime Sanders, because I understand why Shedeur Sanders.
Don't forget to say Neon Deion.
I never heard of that term,
Oh,
to
man,
be honest with you.
He was glowing bright.
But I get it. I remember Shedeur Sanders. There was talks of him saying that, him getting to the NFL, he wanted to, branch off from his dad, do his own thing and such, because his dad coached him all his life and such. And there's nothing wrong with that. And also a history aspect, a history in the making, us the Cleveland Browns, because I never thought in a million years we would draft Deion Sanders' son. And the Cleveland Browns has the opportunity to literally write history, to have the first ever father and son coach and quarterback. And if they do this and develop this, I firmly believe that years to come, this will be the next Belichick and Tom Brady.
Now, let me say this. Now, if by chance we did pull in Deion Sanders, I think it would maybe be a slight issue because the players, they can't be starstruck. It's almost like Michael Jackson coming into Priority Records and coaching some of the singers there. Them folks wouldn't even be able to perform because they're starstruck. Hopefully they professionals, but I just think they would be starstruck. And I do respect what's his name, Shedeur Sanders, by wanting to be his own man, separate from his dad a little bit, and try to make his name in the Sanders tree, because we all know who your father is. But would it be a bad idea? Probably not. It could work. But I just think we got McDermott out there, we got Schwartz, and we have potentially going snatching back Bill Belichick. I mean, what do you have to lose? You've been losing the last 2 years anyway. For that matter of fact, why not get Deion Sanders as well? You've been losing anyway.
Yeah, so I'm open to Belichick. I am.
He has a winning mind. But hey, the thing is, can these younger players that are so spoiled and entitled handle the discipline?
I think Deion Sanders is best to handle that with these new players today, spoiled and they need to be disciplined. Because I've seen the way how Deion Sanders coached. I've seen some of his videos and the way how he gets the young players in order around my age. I believe he's probably the best fit.
Now, I'm going to tell you, too, I think he's just as hard, though, because, when you're dealing with college students, he said he's raising young men because everybody's not going to the pros. Mm-hmm. So I think he's harder than Bill Belichick, to be honest with you, because Bill Belichick is just dealing with professionals that come to the office to perform a job. This is their job: wide receiver, quarterback, defensive end, center, safety, blase. You know what I'm saying? But I think I give both of them their props for being great coaches, but we have yet to see it with the Browns.
So what's going on with the Prodigy and the Prodigy universe? For those of you who don't know, I am a published author. I write novels, superheroes. My books are a fictional tale about me, a superhero named the Prodigy, control all the elements of the periodic table, based in Cleveland. And all my books is on Amazon. And the sequel to my first book, The Prodigy, is coming out on March 31st. And this sequel is actually a revised copy, but the official sequel to The Prodigy. I know before I came out with a sequel to it, but that is actually a paradox version. Now we'll get more in details with that soon to come. But this next book that's coming out on March 31st, this sequel is going to change the game.
Y'all need to be buying these books, I'm telling you. And one last thing, the draft.
Oh yeah, the draft.
Now there's a lot of speculation. And there's a lot of boo-hooing out here by some of y'all talking about the Browns need to take a quarterback. Man, stop your belly aching. I told you that before. Stop it. The Browns do not need a quarterback. They have Deshaun Watson. They have Shedeur Sanders. I think they still have Dylan Gabriel. I saw something where Dylan Gabriel was gone, but I think it was just clickbait. And I think they still have Zappy. The New England Patriots old quarterback from a year or two ago. I think they still have, what's his name, Bailey Zappi, I think. So we got enough quarterbacks to play around with. I I think we go into the next season, Shedeur Sanders, and have to earn a spot from Deshaun Watson or vice versa. But I think Dylan Gabriel has already submitted his job as backup. And hey, no disrespect to Dylan Gabriel, but he just couldn't cut it as starter. It was evident in his play. But as far as the Browns, if they go into the draft looking for a quarterback, they got to be the dumbest organization alive on the planet. And I'll start wearing my Tampa jersey, New England jersey. I got to get one. I'll start wearing New England jersey because you got to stop it. Because we need offensive line. We need wide receivers. We need possibly another cornerback because we don't know how long Denzel Ward go hold up. It's just so many places we need to plug in besides quarterback. And then Shedeur Sanders just showed so much promise with these last few games, even though, what was his record these last few games? He won 2, lost 5, or won 3, lost 4, something like that.
I can't remember.
It was something like that. But a couple of those losses was not his fault. It was the coach's fault. Take the guy out of the game to run. What you call that? What kind
Wildcat.
Yeah, run the Wildcat with an unexperienced back that did not know how to perform what he was doing. He got lost in the sauce. So I just think that, some of these losses are all not on Shedeur, even though he made some mistakes. But Shedeur Sanders, man.
The Cleveland Browns should not get another quarterback. They should not get another quarterback this offseason. They should just deviate from quarterbacks this whole next season because you've been trying to get a new quarterback for the past how many some years. You can't find one that works. Well, technically you did have one, that was Baker Mayfield.
The mighty Baker Mayfield.
But we all know how that situation went. And to be honest with you, with Shedeur Sanders, he is the best quarterback that we have seen all year. He is the quarterback that literally proven that he should have been playing in week 1. And I never seen Dylan Gabriel play, but from what I've seen, he hasn't gotten better weeks to come.
At least Shedeur Sanders should have been playing after Flacco. That's what I think.
Yeah. And Shedeur Sanders, he made some mistakes too, but the mistakes that he made, he grown every single week. Dylan Gabriel, he didn't really grow every single week. Shedeur Sanders grown every single week. And the mistakes that he made, he's a rookie. Rookie's going to make mistakes. And he came in like week 7, week 8, week 9, about around there. He didn't even play a full season, but yet he broke records for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, he did.
That we never even thought or heard of. It's certain records that he broken that's like...
With rookies.
Yeah, so that's why the Cleveland Browns, they should put all their chips on Shedeur Sanders. They should say, you know what, we're going to take a break on the quarterbacks. We're going to build around him. Deshaun Watson, we all know they're not going to get rid of him because they owe him too much money. I will have him as a solid backup. That's it.
Mentor.
Yep, I will have him as a solid backup. Shedeur Sanders at number 1. And third string, you keep Dylan or you can get somebody else. I do not care. That's up to them. And who they should draft. The 6th pick, they got the 6th pick and the 28th pick. Wide receiver, they might as well take him, Carnell Tate.
Yeah, Tate. Yep, Tate is a good receiver.
And the 28th pick, they need to get a absolute stud of an offensive lineman.
Right. Now, there's some good offensive linemen that I hear coming out that could go 6, that can play various positions on that offensive line, which is very important because you can have a stud of a receiver, but if there's no blocking, you can't get the ball to the receiver.
Well, there's how I would do it.
And then you got to understand too, some of our offensive line, their contract is renewing now. Mm-hmm. We might be losing some of them, so we might just take. I hope that ain't the case, but the Browns might just take 2 linemen in the first round or trade up to get 2 linemen and maintain that receiver spot.
Well, here's the thing: if you take an offensive lineman on the first pick, you're really taking a gamble on somebody else taking Carnell Tate because he's the best wide receiver, and we definitely need a wide receiver. So here's how I would do it. I would draft Carnell Tate on pick number 6 on our first pick, and then our next 3 picks, pick 28 on the first round, second, third round, offensive lineman, and then the rest, do what you want. That's how I would do it. Because I would just go full chips. If ain't nobody, because somebody else took Cardinal Tate, all right, fine, it is what it is. But if he's available on the 6th pick, I would take him. And then the rest of those picks that we have, at least the next 2 picks or the next 3 offensive linemen.
Well, in a perfect world, hopefully the Browns can trade up to get another pick in the first round. That's a perfect world. And I'm hoping, and you know, I listened to some of the sport news. I think there was speculation of that. I haven't checked to see if they actually did it or not. But in the perfect world, they would trade up to get another pick. I think that would be solid. You know, being wise with the draft, grabbing a quality coach, whether you re-sign Schwartz or grab McDermott or try to pull Belichick out or Deion Sanders out of college, will be the Browns' best thing they could do to solidify, in my mind, winning seasons to come in the next 4 or 5 years, going into Berea, into our grand, fabulous new stadium. And with that, I'm out.